This is raw, baby.
Let's go. Let's go. What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome to the Progression Point Podcast.
Yes.
It's your boy, Cory.
And this is Ty Banks.
And, man, what's going on, man? This is our first podcast.
Yeah, man. First episode, man. Of our podcast.
Of our podcast. And, yo, man, like, honestly,
yeah.
This came from just the heart of, I'm a barber by trade, right? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, Ty, you know, he comes to get his hair cut by me. And, like, we would have these dope conversations. Like, we'd be talking for, like, 30, 45 minutes after the haircut. Yeah. While we talking, like, during the entire haircut, we get done talking, and we get done cutting. I'm done cutting his hair, and we still talking for, like, another 30, 45 minutes. Yeah. And the last conversation we had, bro, like, man, it left me, like, it left an impact on me. You know what I'm saying? And so when we was done talking, mm-hmm. I was like, bro, this should be a podcast.
Yeah.
And, yo, you looked at me like, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, man, the name of the podcast is called The Progression Point.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody, you know, me and Ty, man, we come from the Midwest, mm-hmm. hard-working people.
Yep.
I mean, we come from not so good environments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you don't really see a lot of people coming from money.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There it is.
So, like I was saying before my phone went off, we're recording this on my phone. But you know, we don't see a lot of people come from you know, well-to-do people. If they do, it's like a unicorn.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then if you do see them, then in your neighborhood, they doing illegal stuff or whatnot. Yeah. So, man, like growing up in that environment, bro, like you know how you just get a mindset that's just terrible. It's it's poverty mindset. It's from check to check.
Yeah.
It's just not positive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. Like what you touched on is real. Like I literally just sat here and just thought about, like, have I ever seen a wealthy black man come back into the neighborhood to want to be like, hey, let me show you what I did. Like, I've never seen that. Like you said, like, most of the time, if you saw somebody that had some money, because they was out there just peddling drugs, doing something that was illegal, or if they did make it out, they got a college scholarship, went to another university outside of town, and
moved out. Came back. They come for a little gathering or something like that, but it was never a staple or a figure in your community.
You just knew, like, oh, okay, I heard about old dude doing his thing, but you don't see them on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
Like, you don't see them on a regular basis. So, like, I'm with you, bro. Like, and I think what we're doing with this platform here to everybody listening is that we want y'all to have an awareness of, like, we are brothers that's making progress in our lives, knowing that we came from those types of climates and backgrounds and environments. And the progression point is all about allowing you to see where you currently are and how you can push yourself forward by getting sound advice from people that look like you. Because right now, first episode, you don't know what we look like.
Right.
But you will.
You will. Soon.
But it's one of those things where it's, if you've heard somebody that already made it, there's a lot of people who are uber successful in what they do, and you can kind of watch them from afar, but you don't personally know their struggle. They just tell you their struggle.
Right. And
sometimes that can be so far removed because, you know, like, for example, I love our guy, Eric Thomas. He talk about, like, being homeless or eating out of trash cans.
Yep.
Well, I ain't never had to deal with that.
Right.
But sometimes it can feel so taboo to be like, bro, you was really eating out of trash cans?
Right.
Like, it's hard to believe that unless you can tell me, like, hey, bro, like, I just dealt with this yesterday.
Right. Then
you can be like, bro, you ate out of a trash can yesterday?
Yes.
Because it doesn't mean that anybody that's at that higher level is lying or that they can't be relatable. It's just that I feel like where we are, why wait to be successful to kind of share our steps towards what God has called us to be, and to, as relates to being leaders and being, you know, world changers in our own environment and background, and generational wealth coming from that and changing the dynamic for our kids. Right. You know? And so
most definitely.
That's how I look at it, bro. And so tell the people, Cory, bro, like you know, you're a barber. You know what I'm saying? Like you're more. I look at you more of like a, you know, a stylist in a sense of for the common man when it comes to making sure like they aesthetic look good from their head to the chin.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And so tell us like what got you into that space in itself, coming from where you come from, being from the Midwest, and especially making that transition out here.
Yeah. So just to give you like a brief background, like man, I'm from a small town in Illinois called Freeport, Illinois, man, and it's like probably about an hour and a half from Chicago. But growing up, man, I lived in Milwaukee. I lived in different places, but like Freeport, like is home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, man, like I was around barbering. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like my cousin, he would cut my hair. You know what I'm saying? The basement cuts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like we all have been.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, you had the basement cuts. I remember Cuz used to put the little. Now, actually, this is when I lived in Milwaukee, but he used to put the Adidas signs. Man, whatever shoes I had, you know what I'm saying? I had to have the sign in my head to match, whether it was some Adidas or some Nikes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But you know, man, I always. I was around it, and I honestly though, if I look back, like yo, it intrigued me because sometimes I would just sit there. You know, he get done with my hair, he got like 5 more people waiting on the bed. I would just sit there and watch him. Yeah. He had one pair of clippers. He was doing a fade, lining you up with one pair of clippers. And then you know what I'm saying, Cuz was doing it so much. They was probably from Walmart. Yeah. He had to tape them joints, and they'd be hot. You know what I'm saying? But like scolding people, man. But like just seeing that. And then seeing how, you know, people felt after they got the chair. Yeah. And then, you know, as I got older, I never really thought I would be a barber. But I had a job. I had a good job. I was driving trucks. Yeah. And, like, that job was killing me because I was delivering. Yeah. That job was tearing me up, man, messing my back up and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm going to the doctor. He's like, man, you know, you probably should find something different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm talking to my barber one day, and I'm talking to him, and he like, I'm thinking about going to college, you know, barber school. Yeah. He said, look, man, if you go to school and you get your license, you got a chair. And he said, I'll teach you everything I know. Ooh. And this is funny that you said this because then we're going to segue into something else off this. Like, you know, he taught me how to cut, and like, man, like, I thank that dude, man, because he taught me how to cut. He gave me, I could feed my family, you know what I'm saying? I could fish on my own, you know what I'm saying? Teach my son. Yeah. Like, you know, my son may not necessarily want to be a barber, but what he can do is when he go to college, if he's nice with it, you can eat on campus. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. While you working towards whatever it is that you want to do, you know what I'm saying? So it's a skill set, man, that I'm never going to not be able to find a job. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I wanted to really hit on was, man, Jason became more like he was a mentor, man. Yeah. He taught me this trade, but then also he taught me how to become a better man, a better husband, a better father. And I also saw somebody, a successful black man, you know what I'm saying, with a shop, you know what I'm saying, that's doing well. Yeah. And then, you know, I can call him up now, anything that I need, yo, like, he there. Yeah. As far as like advice, you know what I'm saying, just to talk. And like, yeah, man. So like, how often do you see that in our community? We don't. Like, bro, like they're like diamonds in the rough, right? Like that's pretty much what it is. Like when you find somebody that's willing. So he's my mentor. You know what I'm saying? To choose to be your mentor. Yeah, most definitely. Because what happens is when you have, especially like when people are trying to come up, right? Like you have a shop. It might not be the biggest shop in town, right, but you have your own spot. Right. But you still trying to maintain your clientele, but also try to put somebody on. That's being mindfulness of passing on the jewels to somebody else. Like that's and that's one of the things that we can say that we find missing even in our community as black people. Yeah. Like we're like, we'll cheerlead each other on, right? Right. But then when we start finding each other, that person starts to gain some level of success, we'll kind of like fall back, right, from our cheering. Right. Because now we're wondering, and to me, I feel like this is hereditary all the way back to slavery, bro. Yeah. Where we're told to not see another person that looks like us to be more successful than us. Right. And
when we keep that trait embedded in our hearts to say, oh, bro, yeah, man, we start pipe dreaming and, you know, start talking all these things and talking that talk like, oh, bro, but we're just sitting there and idle, though.
Right.
Like,
not making no moves.
Not making no moves, bro. Like, just in neutral, bro. Like, we're just like, oh, yeah, we just like to rev our engines, but we don't like to go nowhere. And then when someone else decides to go somewhere, we'll be like, oh, man. We sit there and pause. Now, you probably are different or like different than most people who look at that and be like, oh, man, that sucks. Like, we're probably more like the same where we're like, man, that's crazy. We hold ourselves accountable to someone that we do see elevate themselves. Yeah. Because think about it, like, I know for me, like, going to college wasn't even really like a big consideration even for me. Like, I dropped out of high school my junior year of high school. Wow. And I just felt like it was just one of those things, and this is the crazy thing about it too, when you think about going to a predominantly black school. I didn't drop out in a traditional way where I just left and didn't come back. I went to the school and told them I'm not coming back. Wow. And I said, is there anybody I need to talk to about doing that? And they didn't even go get no counselor. They didn't follow with my mom. They didn't do none of that. And it just shows you, like, when you live in a system like that, where it's like,
so hold on, the people that's supposed to be guiding your future. Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, bro.
Didn't guide you to your future.
Did not guide me. And it's like they didn't give me an option to see that I had an option.
I don't remember. I had this conversation with my wife. Like, I played sports in high school, but like my grades, like I had so much going on in my life. Like school was like not even. I didn't really care, honestly. You know what I'm saying? But like, there was no, like, I remember going to the guidance counselor, she just telling me my grades, but I don't ever remember her saying, like, young man, like, yo, like, I see something in you. Dude. Like, this, you can still turn it around. Yeah. You know what I mean? Only reason I turned it around, because I was like, yo, I'm not going to be in this. Nobody's going to see me in the senior picture twice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my senior year, like, dog, honestly, man, I mean, I was smarter than what I put on, but like, I did just enough to get by. Yeah. And then my senior year, I was like, yo, like, I almost made the honor roll. Yeah. If I would have tried, or somebody would have, if my guidance counselor would have been like, yo, guided me to my future, it'd have been different. I didn't mean to cut you off. No, that's good. But that, man, me and my wife we've had that conversation so many times, bro.
Right. But see, this is the thing, like, what you hit on, bro, is where's the guidance? Right. Right? Like, if you're supposed to be the person that's supposed to guide me, where is the opportunity to try to guide me? Right, bro, like, this is what I'm telling you, like, my grades, like, I almost don't care. This is why I know where my son kind of gets not really caring that much for school from. Yeah. But at the same time, I need you to also go hard in a different ambition, right? Right. You know, like, I was big on always, like, networking with people, right? Like, I was always big on, like, I will work. I'm not opposed to working. Right. I just didn't like the system of what I was in. Like, I'm like, man, I'm just sitting in here doing the same thing, and it's not progressing me anywhere else. Like, I would just sit at home and daydream. There was nobody, like, cultivating that in me and seeing, like, dude, like, I remember I used to draw like crazy, bro. And I even had cats in school just thought, like, I was going to be into fashion. Like, oh, man, you just drew these clothes, you all did this. I didn't think they took me serious until the following school year, in my junior year, where cats was like, oh, are you still doing your clothing thing and all this? Yeah. I was like, oh, wow, like, people really interested in what I was about. But that was just my peers, right? So I see them as I see myself, where it's like, oh, that's what's up. But when you don't have anybody that's an elder or a mentor to kind of say, hey, I've been hearing people talking about, like, you into this drawing and into this art. Hey, what you can do is, why don't you look into this? Let me pour into you a little bit, or at least direct you or guide you to an area that will get you somewhere.
And you know whose role that is in the family. It's the father.
Yes. Because I grew up without one.
Me too.
See? You know what I'm saying?
Dog, my mom was just trying to just, like, make sure I go to school. Bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a father, so you can test to this. Yes. When you see your child, bro, you see the giftings early on in them. Like, okay, I'm going to push him into that.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. And, like I said, a mom, her job is to nurture, love, and support.
Support, yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so my mom did all of those things. Yeah. But a woman is not equipped. I'm not saying it can't be done, but in in the aspect of a household, that's a
yeah.
father's job.
Yes.
To see, I see it, like, in my kids, man, like, I see it, man. Like, my son, that dude, I remember my wife was like, he was like 6 months old.
Yeah.
And he was just determined to get somewhere. I said, that dude, when he get older, there is going to be nothing that he feel like he not going to be able to do.
Yeah.
That dude 4 now, that dude is fearless, bro.
Yeah.
Fearless, man.
See, bro, like, when you said that, it literally made me think about my situation with my family, bro. Like I'm so big on like seeing and like I get so hard like with my daughter, like she's trying to do film. Like I get upset when I don't see her applying herself in that. Like, dude, I see what you can do, and I'm like asking her like, do you want me to stop trying? Because apparently like I don't want to be pushing you to something like you ain't going to apply yourself to, because my mind is like seeing the potential.
Exactly.
And my expectations too high to what I can see for you to handle. And the same thing with my son in basketball, or my other son in sports, like, or science and stuff. Like, I'm so big on like getting you access to the tools, so that you have no excuse. Because I tell them this right now, bro. Like, it's one thing for like my wife, which you touched on, like being the nurture and the support system, but it's the father, and like you said, women can also do this if they have to. Right. But they are not supposed to be jacks of all trades, though.
Man, my mama did it all.
Right. but this is the thing, though. A jack of all trades is a master of none. So that means she ended up dropping the ball on something because she wasn't supposed to do it by herself.
Nope. Man, I can only imagine how hard it is for a woman to raise a man.
Bro.
She had nothing up top. Tells her she has nothing in common with us. Now, raising a woman might be a little easier.
Yes.
Because you can understand it, but a man?
Yeah. Because you don't know.
Shout out to all the single moms.
Shout out to Sharice out there in Ohio.
Shout out to Evelyn Curry.
Bro, like, you did a great job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are some strong black women out here, and you did what you could do from the level of what you understood, what you had in front of you. And all I look at what we're doing now, bro, Cory, is like we're taking the mantle of what they didn't have access to.
Exactly. And
they gave us an awareness. Right. And that we have no excuse. Like we know how we grew up. Right. So we have no excuse. Yep. We are held to a higher expectation and standard because we knew what we lacked.
Right. Most definitely.
Like, it's one thing to be ignorant, right? Like, if we didn't know, then there's nothing that we can be held accountable to. But because of this conversation we're having right now, to everybody listening, if you know right now as a listener that you've dealt with circumstances, you dealt with an upbringing or a background or just any type of condition that you felt like was unorthodox, right? Like not having a two-parent home, not having a mentor, not having a guidance, any guidance from your guidance counselor while you were in high school. Right? Like, y'all knowing that, you have no excuse, because this is the thing I used to hate about like stuff like my brother, right? Like, he's probably the only, like, I don't even like to say black sheep, because what that does is that says that person is just automatically designated the negative one, right? He's more of like, he puts himself and he thinks just differently outside of what my mom raised. Yeah. And he'll say stuff like, you know, I went through this and I went through that, blah, 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 about, you know, going to jail or stuff that he had to deal with, or child support and all this other stuff. And a lot of myself, I'm just thinking like, dude, if you know the things that you've going through, why do you keep putting yourself in the same situation as if it's because you know the saying, right? Like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? Yep. And I find it more so in our community.
Oh my God, they hit,
bro. Like, cause think about it, like, dude, I even gotta hold myself even accountable right now, bro. Like, there's some certifications I can be taking right now that can elevate me a little bit more going into 2020. Right. But I've been allowing myself to be distracted by a task, right? Instead of priorities, bro. And what we tend to do, especially us as black people, like especially black men, because we talked about this before, like we're discovering a lot about ourselves, even in our 30s. Right now, we're still discovering things, a lot about ourselves. Because one of the things I tell this to people all the time is, you spent 18 of your years of your life being treated like a child. Right? all the way until you're 18. And sometimes when you're 18, 19, and sometimes 20, people still look at you as like, oh, that's young Cory.
Yep.
Right? But you got to then now transition another 18 years out of that childlike mentality and habit and not having a father in your life to figure out what is it like to be a dad, to be a husband, right? Because we don't have perfect examples of what does a husband look like.
Not at all.
Right? Like, I know a lot of people who've been divorced.
Right.
But do I have any perfect examples of people who can continuously pour into me that say, hey, I've been married for 30 years, 40 years,
right.
50 years.
Right.
Right? Like, when it can, like, or someone that looks like that's in our age group that have been with their wife and they ain't, like, out here trying to be disrespectful to in a relationship.
Right.
Because I know some bros, dude, like, that they were married and they out here dipping. And I'm just like, bro, I just can't do it. Side chick. And
still being in people DM.
Bro.
No, you got a whole wife out here.
You got a whole wife, bro.
Come on, man.
But like with we trying
to change the culture.
We changing the culture, and that's why you listening now. You are held accountable, though. Like women, dudes, no matter how old you are, I don't care if you're 16 right now, if you're 45 right now. Like you are held accountable if you know that you grew up and lacked something.
Right,
dude. If you are aware to bring it up in conversation, oh, my dad wasn't around. All right, so what does that mean then?
Yep.
Right? Are you holding on to pain to use it as a flag?
Yep.
As a banner of like excuses?
Right.
Or are you seeing it as because I didn't have, I need to actually, because I grew up with all these minuses and these negatives, what are you going to do about adding positives?
Right.
Who are you hanging around? What are you doing to feed your soul and your mindset? Because, bro, like I said, like, I've been allowing myself to be caught up in tasks too, right? So like being a husband, right? Because we didn't grow up being taught how to be good husbands, right? Being able to go to work and try to be the best employee or entrepreneur or just going out and just being the best version of whatever that task is. Right. But then all of a sudden, I should be getting up a little earlier.
Yeah.
What am I staying like? I ain't gonna lie, bro. I be watching Netflix,
YouTube videos,
watching YouTube, bro.
Yep.
And like, dude, like there's a show I've been watching is Forrest Whitaker is called the Godfather of Harlem.
Okay.
And I just been like,
well, you speaking,
bro?
Come on,
dude. Like,
you know what? Mine is my health.
Okay, go ahead, talk about that.
Because I know, like, okay, everybody know I moved out here in June. So, like, the beginning of 2018, I was like, okay, now you 360 pounds. Like, you too young to be this big, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and one day I just like, January 1st, let's get it. So all 2018, I was making strides. I was hitting it. I was going to the gym consistent. Working out sometimes twice a day. I lost like 50 pounds.
Okay.
So we going into 2019, and April roll around. I'll never forget. April roll around. I helped my in-laws move out here, so I'm driving out here with them. Yeah. And it had a little bit of disruption in my routine. Threw me off. And then I moved out here, had more disruption. And then now we in a 2-hour time change. Yeah. So I used to, like I said, me and my wife used to get up at 5 in the morning. We go to the gym and hitting it. And so like now my routine off and everything. So lately I just been like, okay. The Lord was just telling me, look, dog, you gotta don't try to hit the home run. Yeah. Take baby steps. Yeah. He's like, get up, do 10 minutes, do 15 minutes. Yeah. Of cardio. Yeah. Do a little lifting, and then you're done. And then just build on that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like you said though, I get up, I be in the middle of I know I need to go to bed. It's 9:30. Dog, I need to go to bed. Dog, look, I even went so far, bro. I even set alarms in my phone, bro. Cause like, bro, I'm really trying to I'm really trying to do this, bro. I put alarms in my phone. You got them? Yeah, bro. Let me see, bro. I got it. 4:20, 3:10, 4:25, 4:45, 5 a.m., 5:30, 7 a.m., 5:35 p.m. Yeah, I just ignore all, every single last one of them.
And my wife get on me like, you need to take them alarms off your phone if you ain't going to.
Right. So, like I said, I had all these alarms on my phone. Like, I'm finna get up, you know what I'm saying, do my, have my study time with,
Yeah.
Cause my study time with God is A1. I gotta have that. You know what I'm saying? So gotta have that. Gotta have Devo. Get up in the morning, and then go over to. I got a free one at my apartment complex.
Bro, me too. And what are we doing?
So I got a free joint in my apartment complex. Man, I'll probably go 2 times out of the week. And so I'm putting this out there now. We gotta be accountable.
Yeah. We putting it out there. Like, this is the thing. Like, I want everybody to hear this. Like, part of us doing this podcast again, we're showing you right now that we ain't dudes that already made it. Like, we ain't perfect in our routine.
Nope.
Like, oh yeah, we these multimillionaires.
Nope.
We go to the gym. We got personal trainers.
We got aspirations.
Aspirations. And we got, number one, the most important thing when you touched on about having your Devo, having the Holy Spirit.
Yep.
Like, one of the things that you guys need to be aware of as it relates to us as young black men is that we have God in our lives. Like, we believe in Jesus Christ.
For sure.
And as husbands, as fathers, like, we're young. Now that's relative to whoever's listening, right? So, like, but I feel like I still think the same way like I did when I was in my... I'm aware, like, man, I remember how I used to think when I was in high school.
Right.
I remember how I used to think when I was 21.
Right.
But being in our 30s, bro, like, we have no excuse because I feel like right now, compared to where we are technically young because, like, when I look at, like, people like Diddy and Jay,
they're like 50.
They like 50, bro.
Right.
And they still look relevant to me.
Right.
They don't look like old heads out here
Right.
trying to be cool
Right.
compared to, like, when we were young, we used to see
Right.
cats that were old
Right.
trying to look cool.
Right.
But I feel like because we came up in a generation where we were like mid-80s babies born and grew up technically in the 90s generation where we were aware of music, aware of culture, aware of everything that was like going uphill towards like to the peak of awareness of hip hop. And so, like, right now, like, I want everybody to be aware of, like, we want to hold ourselves accountable to y'all, like, because we don't want to be these dudes that's just out here just doing all this talking, and then the next episode or 2 or 3 or 5 down the road, we have no progress. It's called a progression point for a reason. This is a point right now where we are aware, self-aware of what we should be doing.
Exactly.
And now that we are putting ourselves out into a public forum,
holding ourselves accountable.
Hold ourselves accountable.
Facts.
And then because we want everybody to kind of chime in and be like, hey, what are we doing as a schedule?
Right.
Like, we want everybody to kind of like give your inquiries, hit us up on social, whatever.
Yep.
Like, see what our progress is, and we need to start documenting that.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have we're gonna get a Twitter.
Yeah.
And, we're gonna get a Facebook and Instagram page popping.
Yeah.
But, like, man, we really just wanted to get this initial
Yeah.
podcast off the ground, man, and just start somewhere.
Yes.
And like I said, man, with the weight thing, yo, like, I've been up and down. But I'm like, yo, I had a birthday last week. I'm 36. 40 is coming.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
That's how I'm feeling. Like,
I'm like, my metabolism ain't getting no faster.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? So, I haven't gained, thank God I ain't gained all the way back. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I noticed, like, yo, like, all right, you picked up some weight. Some of these jeans that you had when you were smaller, they feel a little different.
Yo, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So,
bro.
But I want to be there for my daughter when it's time to walk her down the aisle. Because, man, let's be honest, man. Black people, man, we deal with diabetes, sickle cell. You know what I'm saying? All these different high blood pressure.
Yep.
And some of us, I deal with high blood pressure, but mine is more so hereditary. My dad had it. But I notice when I am controlling my diet, eating right, like, I'm off the medicine. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I do know that, but, like, man, we got so many factors, yo, like, that's like coming against us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, the stuff that we can quote unquote control. Yeah. Man, we gotta take it in our own hands, man.
Dude, like, it's almost like even what us doing this podcast, bro. Like, you have no excuse when you have tools that are available to you. Right. Like, it's almost like when it's easier for us, we don't take advantage of it. Right. Right? Like, we have access to gyms at our crib. But how often are we utilizing it?
2 times a week.
2 times a week.
I need to be doing that joint at least 5 to 6.
Right. Because this is the thing, what we have in our minds that we end up dropping the ball on. I'm sure a lot of you listeners probably do the same thing, where it's what we think, like, oh, if we are going to go to the gym, we got to spend at least an hour up in that mud.
Man, you get in there, you do 20, 30 solid minutes, bro.
Yeah.
And then, but it's mostly diet, what you intake.
Bro, it is diet.
You know what I'm saying?
And we think that, all right, I'm going to keep eating the same, but I'm going to just try to overwork my body.
Can't do
and
that.
your body, it's almost like, all right, I'm gonna keep driving hard, but I'm gonna still not do oil changes.
Right.
I'm gonna still not put the right type of gas in. I'm gonna still drive while I'm on E. Like, I'm not doing the maintenance thing.
Right.
While I'm running this thing 100 miles an hour,
right.
thinking like, oh, okay, it's still a good condition and all this other stuff. All right, you might look good, but your body's going to give you signs like, hey, bro, you need to put that pop down.
Check engine light, hey, come on.
Check engine light, come on. That's real. That check engine light going to come on, and then you're going to find out you're going to need a new engine replacement or alternator replacement or a belt replacement. Like, you need to be tuning, like, you need to fine-tuning, bro. And we gotta be on it about that, because at the end of the day, especially as black men, we don't like hospitals.
No, I hate it.
We hate them, right?
I hate it.
I don't ever the only time I went.
But is that just men in general?
It could be men, but I feel strongly as relates from a community wise.
Okay, from a community. Okay.
We would prefer not to, because think about it. We like to doctor ourselves up at the crib.
Most definitely.
Like Robitussin, Vicks Vapor Rub, you know what I'm saying, Therafluid up. Like, we won't do nothing at the hospital, because we feel like it could be a hereditary, like, tradition of, like, passed down perspective of they're just going to tell you there's something wrong and get more money out of you.
Right.
And then you feel like there's something wrong, we don't want to hear that.
Right.
But what we got to do is we got to change that for ourselves, because, again, we're leaders in our house, bro. We're leaders in our community too, for real.
For real.
Like I'm all about, like, equal opportunity for every human being on this planet, as well as for women and men that are, you know, in a position.
Right.
But at the same time, there's still a position that a man holds and a woman holds.
Yeah,
my job as a man is not to replicate what a woman does.
Right, because I'm not equipped to do that.
I'm not equipped. I would not desire to do all the things that you do.
No. Look, let me be at home with my kids for 6 hours. Every beer here and piece of hair on top of my head, I'm full out. Every piece, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying my wife, but she tell me, she'd be like, yeah, you be ready to bleed, don't you? You know it. I'm not equipped for that.
No, I'm with you, bro. Like, my wife.
I cannot be a stay-at-home father.
I couldn't do that either. Like, I remember my wife went out of town, like, I think it was like 2017 or 18. She went out of town for like a week.
Count the hours.
I was like, I'm as a dad didn't like being at home with them. Just think about a mom with no father in the house, and my mom had 4 of us, and I was dealing with just.
I was 2. I was only 1. I was 2.
Bro, but still though, like, no human being, if you didn't make them by yourself, you shouldn't be raising them by yourself. And so because of that, it just gives you awareness of, like, what we talked about moments ago about, like, the mom is not equipped to be a jack of all trades. Mm-hmm. She can try to do all those things the best to her knowledge, but somewhere something's gonna, like you said, lack. Yeah,
somewhere's
gonna lack. Because it's just like what we're doing now. Like,
I know. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just while you saying that, what I thought about was mine's was a discipline.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom said I've always been a self-motivator, a self-starter. Yeah. But the discipline aspect of sticking with it, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a dad.
Same here, bro.
That's what they do.
Yep.
Yo, come on, let's finish this.
Let's go.
Let's finish this.
Think about
I see how with my kids.
See, bro, that's what I'm saying.
Like, son, or my daughter, like, you not finna quit.
Yep.
I know it's hard.
Yep.
But you got to keep going.
And if we had dads, bro, dude, we would have probably been much further along.
Most definitely.
Having them talk to us like that.
Most definitely. Like, okay, for instance, like my daughter, like, she only in kindergarten, but they give these kids mad homework. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I would see things in her that was like me. Yeah. And so, like, if she didn't want to do it, she gonna have to do it, or she gonna be really, 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 like, just like, I'm just gonna do sloppy work, and I'm gonna sit here and cry, and you know what I'm saying? But I told her, I said, you know, first and foremost, like, we had to just like, okay, God, me and Mom had to sit down and pray, ask, you know, like, give us direction on what to do. Well, we just had to start saying these confessions. Yeah. And then, but then, like, also knowing, like, yo, like, you not finna be lazy. You gonna sit here until you get it done. Yeah. And, you know, she was doing lazy stuff, like work at school, because she, like I was saying, I miss mommy and daddy. Like, look, like, baby, this the real world. You can't, just because you miss us, like, you can't not do your work. So, you know, fast forward, man, like, You know, so like she been saying these confessions, yo, and like man, like today, like man, she's her work has been immaculate over the last couple of weeks, but like today, the stuff she brought home, bro, I had to pick my baby up, swing her around, kiss her, and she just lit up. Yeah. And then like she got this paper home from her teacher. Yeah. And was just saying like she got like I guess like student of the week. Or,
oh wow.
Like bro, just so like man, just like that, like just about what me and my wife did, just like backing off. Yeah. Because we kind of like at first was kind of on it, but like we had to pray, ask God like how do we approach this? Bro. You know what I'm saying? Like man, we gave that baby all that love and that support, but like also like that. Instill that discipline. Yeah. As me as a father, like, look, like I know you don't want to do it, but like you gotta still, you gotta get it done because you'll be a grown up in no time. You know, you're 5 right now. You'll be a grown up in no time. So we gotta instill those things in our children early on. Yeah. And like I said, bro, like I seen her homework today. I was so proud of my baby, man. See. She killed it. See. And like, and then her self confidence. Yeah. On top of that, is being built. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because homework for me and my mom was a struggle. Because she would get frustrated and she started yelling. Yeah. Because that's how she was doing it by herself. So she got to come home and she then work 8 to 10 hours, cook, and then trying to do homework. And I already got a complex, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad ain't there. Yep. You know what I mean? So all of that mixed in with her frustration, it was ugly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My baby, my kids, bro, they got both. And we can also, you know, like I said, we prayed about it, asked God how do we approach it, and we get results.
But see, that right there, like, I'm so glad you touched on that, bro. It made me think about, like, I think, like, with my son, or just my children in general, bro, like, when I see them get off a certain way, my mind automatically feels like, I gotta fix it.
Yeah, we do. We go to fix mode.
Yeah.
Especially as men. Yeah. We try to fix everything.
We try to fix it. But what you did, that makes, again, that's that accountability of you speaking about what you and your wife had to do, is holding me accountable of like what I need to be more intentional in doing, which is I got to go to God. Right. Like I need to go to Him about things.
He created them. He know how they tick. He know how we tick. Because we gonna get frustrated. That's, my wife was getting frustrated. I was a little more. Had a little more grace. And compassion because I understood her. Because I was there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter already kind of got a little, just a little insecurities that I see. And so, but like, now, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm starting to, you know, combat that with just love and just, you know what I'm saying, being her daddy. You know what I'm saying? But, because we all come downloaded with mess. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to your parent, as you as a parent, to love them things out of your children. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get the information from God.
Yes, no. And what we do, and I think that's one of the things is like having spouses that are on the same, like equally yoked.
Yeah, most definitely.
When it comes to like foundational truths of how you want the dynamic of your family to be. Thanks. It allows you to slow down. Right. And be like, how can we, because think about it. If you was by yourself, do you think you would have been quick to prayer? No. Or you'd have been like quick to fix?
Quick to fix and quiet yelling.
Bro.
Because I'm tired. You know, I'm work. I got to cook you a little book or something to eat. You don't want to eat it. You crying. You talking about it's nasty. Dirty. I don't like this. So then I'm already on 10 because of that. Bro. You know what I'm saying? So.
But again, it shows through the family dynamic, bro. Like, of when you're in a two-parent system, which is what it should always be, that you always are partnering with your spouse, bro. Like, you have to see them as a partner,
it's a good word, bro. Partner.
Because if you feel like, oh, I do my part as a dad, and then she does her part, and then you feel like there's a conflict. That's because you keep doing this with them. And that's because you seem to... No, you know what we're clashing with? Is because you're upset because she's actually playing her role, and you feel like you want her to play yours. Bro, that's what, like, as I'm thinking about this conversation, bro, like, that's what we're doing, and she gets upset when, oh, you seem like you're too direct. You need to be a little more softer, but it's like, no, you're the one who does that. Right. We're the yin and yang. Right. We're evenly, like, we're even towards how we're supposed to be. Yep. Yeah, is there certain things that I can probably be? Yeah, it doesn't mean there's no need for modifications. Right. But it doesn't mean that I'm supposed to be you. Right. I'm not supposed to be you. Right. In that situation. But the only way that, again, like, to have that awareness is because you're in a two-person situation, where there's a system in play to have that awareness. Because our moms were not supposed to be two people.
Not at all, bro. Not at all.
You ain't supposed to be the aggressor
Oh,
and the supporter and the influencer, and then you still try to figure your own life out with trying to figure another human being out by yourself.
I know that this is a scripture, and it's talking about. I'm thinking about the scripture in James.
Yeah.
It says a double-minded man is unstable.
It's unstable in all his ways. Yes.
I know in context,
yeah,
it's not that, but our parents was being two people at once.
Two people, bro. That's it's because the word can be used any kind of
way.
Yeah. God can speak in His word, inexhaustible.
But
bro.
you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like
I know
a
what you're saying.
double-minded man is unstable. Like our mom was playing two separate roles, and our houses were unstable.
Unstable
because of that.
Yes. Bro, that's facts, bro. I hope y'all getting these jewels right now. This is real. Like, if you don't read your Bible, pick up your Bible. If you ain't got nobody you fellowship,
verse 6.
Tell them. Tell them.
But before we get out of here, man.
Yeah.
It was two things that I wanted to kind of touch back on.
Okay.
The first thing was the guidance counselor.
Yeah.
I remember walking into the guidance counselor area. Seeing all those flags with Southern Illinois, Northern Illinois, Drake, Wisconsin. Bro, I never felt like I could do any of those. I never felt like I could go to those schools.
Yeah.
It was either, honestly, bro, I didn't think I was going to college. The only thing that changed my perspective as far as, maybe I could do this college thing was my senior year. Shout out to Miss LaFrancine Baker. She's a teacher back in my hometown, man, and she created this thing called Choices.
Okay.
It was for minority students.
Okay.
It was whether it's African American, just minority students.
Yeah.
Hispanic, whatever. But mostly it was African American students. And a lot of my friends that went on the trips before, where she would rent a bus, charter bus, and take us to different colleges.
Yeah.
And I didn't go. I was supposed to go my junior year. I didn't go, but I went my senior year. So we went to Tennessee. So we went to Lane College. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Lane. I went to Lane for a semester. We went to Lane. We went to Fisk in Nashville. We went to TSU. We went to University of Tennessee. I feel like we went one more school. Did I say Fisk?
Yep.
So I said Fisk, Lane, TSU, and University of Tennessee. That might have been it. But then we went to some museums. But bro, that opened to my mind. So okay, man. Well, what have I been saying since we moved out here to Arizona? Exposure bro. Changes your mind, bro.
Yes.
And so she exposed me to I went to TSU, one of the major HBCUs.
Yeah. Lane
was an HBCU. Fisk is one of the most dopest. Got some of the most dopest history as far as HBCUs.
Yeah.
And then we went to UT. That's one of the biggest schools in the South. It's the University of Tennessee. So me seeing that, okay, man, maybe I can do this college thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Long and behold, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe that you're supposed to pigeonhole kids to whether it be in college. It could be something else. You go to do a trade. Yeah. I know welders that's making 6 figures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's for another podcast.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get off into something else. Because my mind was already going.
Yeah.
But, bro, I got exposure to something different other than where I'm from. Where I'm from a town of 26,000 people. Yeah. It's segregated as heck, and black people's on one side of town. And it's a few people on you, like you said, a few people inside town. That's got a good job, they're doing good, but a lot of people are struggling.
Yes. You
know what I'm saying? My mom was a single parent. I saw my mom graduate. She went to college.
Okay.
And I remember seeing her do it kind of gave me something.
Yeah.
But it still, it wasn't the same though.
Yeah.
I didn't see other young black dudes.
So, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Someone that looked
like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to go to college and better themselves. So that impacted me. And yeah, man, exposure, bro.
Yeah.
Exposure is key. I was moving out here seeing different people from different walks of life, and then also seeing, I see some older gentlemen or young cats my age doing well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it motivates you to, and then also listening to different podcasts,
Yeah.
listening to different things, exposing yourself.
Yep.
To different things, man,
Yeah.
and expanding your mind.
Expansion, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, exposure creates expansion. Because what did the Bible say? You can't put new wine in old wine
Sure
skins.
can. You sure
right?
can.
Like, and
sure can.
what that means is that in order for you have to allow your mind to be renewed. Like, you got to put yourself in a different environment so that whatever's being poured into you can be poured into you. Because if not, trying to give you that in that current environment, it makes it feel unaccessible.
Right.
And until you were exposed in a different environment to be stretched.
Right.
Right? And so that's why, like, the Bible talks about, like, renewing of the mind.
Yep.
Like, the mindset is the most important thing. Like, and this is the thing for everybody, just to kind of give y'all a quick little tidbit is, you know, this podcast is not about giving y'all specific tactics and tools and strategies so that you can become successful at making X amount of dollars and X, Y, and Z through something that isn't dealing with where you currently are mentally. Like, our goal is to give you an opportunity to say, hey, these are dudes that are at a progression point in their lives.
Right.
And that I, too, am in the same position, even if it's not exact. Right, that I, too, can actually put myself in position to say, hey, where am I at right now and where can I go from here?
Right.
Because everything is what you touched on, bro, earlier. It's the baby steps.
Yep.
We think we got to go and put
0 to 100.
0 to 100 real quick. Like we're supposed to be like that because we're trying to make up for lost time.
Yep.
As if there's a time clock on our lives. And it's like, nah. Like, treat every day as an opportunity.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah, bro.
Yep. And then also, you know, y'all, I don't know, y'all, this is funny to me. But, you know the slogan, man, make America great again. We done all heard that.
Yeah.
Man, look, man, we're going to make marriage dope again.
Ooh,
We're going to make marriage dope
make
again.
Marriage dope
because,
again.
yo, man, like, I see a lot of stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and I just be like, yo, that's so whack, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
We need more families, man.
Bro.
And we seeing it, you know what I'm saying, come to the forefront, but, like, it needs to be forefront center, man. So many things we see put on mainstream media about family, especially black families, is negative. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
So, man, we got to change that, man. We got to change that. We got to change that, man. And then, I mean, I feel like we need to get up. Did you want to say anything on
No. No, like,
okay.
I'm just in agreement with that. Like, you made me automatically think of, like, dude, we got to get some custom hats made that say make marriage dope again.
Bro.
And go out here and rock that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
for sure.
And let people see, like, oh, okay, I'm a married man.
Yeah.
Like, there's no shame
I'm
in
wearing
that.
with a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Bro.
Like, because people treat it as if it's a jail cell of a lifetime. Like, oh, I'm in this for life. That means, you know, we ain't supposed to. And again, this is a whole other podcast.
Right, whole other podcast.
That's a whole nother. This is just the intro.
It's the intro.
This is just the intro.
But two things I want to leave y'all with, man. If at all possible, man, look, I don't know if you don't pray, whatever. Yeah. But like, find a mentor or ask God to help you find someone who can point you into the direction that you want to go. Yeah. And another thing too, man, is the second one is renew your mind. Yeah. Like, man, like me and Ty was talking about a couple weeks ago, man. Just like growing up how we grew up, man, we got so many, they quote unquote stinking thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like just about like money, about finances, about marriage, about how a man's role should be. Yeah. Like, man, like we had to like get that stuff uprooted, man. Yeah. Out of our thinking. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that we can progress and our children can be better than us. Because it's all about leaving a legacy, bro. I'll never forget, man, like a few years ago, God was just like, yo, like this is your legacy. Your kids is your legacy. When you get married, like whatever was the past, like it's changed and you have started something to where when you pass on, your great grandkids should be proud of. Yeah. Like, yo, my granddad was like this, and my great granddad was this. Yep. It's a legacy. Yeah. So many people live for today, bro. It's about the generations coming after you. Yeah. We so selfish, bro. Man, I'm gonna have grandkids one day. You will. But one more thing. What was that? I was in. We was somewhere. We was out to eat somewhere, and I saw a little boy go up to his grandpa. Yeah. And I had that feeling like one day that's gonna be me. And just how little dude just like revered his grandfather.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as I'm not like I said, I'm not old. I'm only 36, but bro, like I think about that so much more now in my life than ever. Like I got kids, and then the ones that's after me.
Yep. Yeah.
How many people don't have good names, bro?
Bro.
Because of their grandfather or great.
Bro, that's why one of the things I want to kind of give you this real quick is what Dame Dash said. I hustle for my last name, I don't hustle for my first. Like, I'm out here doing this so that whatever happens after me, that the brand that I leave behind is a banner.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
sir.
that people are waving it like a banner. Like, I represent what my great grandfather, Cory Curry, did a millennia ago.
I want that name to mean something.
We wanted to mean something. And it ain't just about Steph and them.
Man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
It ain't about Steph and them. There's another Curry out here.
Another Curry, man.
Change
the lives, bro, and make an impact, man. Yo, man, this has been the Progression Point, man.
Yes.
Man, we got some good content coming up, bro. I'm excited about this, man. I'm happy that we decided to step out
and just
make this happen. We sitting in my studio, bro.
Yes.
And at a Cut Above Barber Studio, 265 Federal Street in Chandler, Arizona. Suite 122, man. We out here, man. And my man Ty is an awesome father. He's dope when it comes to marketing, man. And we'll have all our our handles, on our Facebook page, man. But my man is phenomenal, man. Dude gonna be six figures one day, man. And more. We gonna be. And my man's he knows his stuff, man. And he's amazing at what he does, man. But most important, man, he's a better human, a good husband, and a father, man. I'm thank God that he crossed our paths, man. So this is the Progression Point, man. Episode numero uno, man. So we signing out, man. Hey, we'll see y'all next Monday.
See y'all. God bless.